What's up, guys? It's Branden Flash. Today we're heading from Charlotte, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia because my Rivian broke going through a puddle. Let me tell you more. So here we have my Rivian R1T all fully charged up. Let's get unplugged and then I'll show you the damage underneath. So I slowed down charging, added about 40 kilowatt hour there overnight. And while it looks fine on the outside, underneath, we've actually got a panel missing. Just like that. So as I mentioned, the underbody panel is just straight up missing. The other day, it was raining decently hard and the road had flooded a little bit on my way to work. Drove through it. It's probably 2 or 3 inches of water would be my guess, just flooded in the road. Was just driving along normally at like 20, 30 miles an hour. And then when I got to work and checked, the panel was just straight up missing. Went back after work, found the panel, and was able to recover it, but it was ripped off from the underside. A couple days ago, Rivian sent a mobile technician to actually come and inspect it and determine it needed to go to the service center in order to get repaired because it seemed to have torn one of the metal brackets and potentially damaged the rocker panel trim pieces, the like plastic along the sides. So yeah. Now I get to go to Atlanta because there's not a Charlotte or otherwise North or South Carolina service center. So let me show you the route. We're also going to be stopping for some Starbucks on the way out of town here. Just placed a mobile order and we'll grab it before we hit the road. So here is Charlotte, of course. That's where we're starting. So we're going out west through Gastonia, Spartanburg, Greenville, and then all the way to Atlanta. Looks like it's trying to tell me that I'll be out of battery there, but we'll be fine going 248 miles. Right now we're in all-purpose mode, 270 miles at 100%. Let me reset one of my trips here. There, and here's my lifetime trip. So we're gonna be crossing 10,000 miles today on the way. And once we get on the interstate, I'll switch it into conserve mode, but you'll see here, once we switch it into conserve, we'll bump it up to 293 miles. I think we'll be totally fine to make it there on a single charge, and Rivian has charging at their service center, so if we roll in at 10-15%, I'm not super concerned. That will be kind of their problem instead of mine. But let's get going here and hit the road. And as far as logistics of this go, so I'm going to Atlanta, dropping off my truck. Rivian's going to be giving me a loaner. They said they had a loaner Rivian for me, I think, but I also gave them the option of if it's easier for them to get a Polestar or Tesla or something from Hertz, Enterprise, whatever, I'm fine with that as long as it's an EV. So I'm going to be dropping that off, and I'll have whatever loaner I get for about a week, and I'll go back this coming Saturday to swap trucks or swap vehicles, whatever the case may be. Really hoping, if it is an R1T loaner, that it has either the 21-inch road tires or the 22-inch sport tires, just to get a little experience with those compared to my 20-inch all-terrain. Help me make a little bit more of an informed decision if I want to go with road tires for my next set of tires on the 20s, because I'm thinking I'll go with the Nokian 1HT, which is a road tire, but also kind of a heavy duty truck tire-ish. Should be more durable, have thicker sidewall, things like that, more suited to a very heavy truck that may get some light off-roading. But we're at Starbucks now, so let me just park here in the fire lane because I'm just gonna run in and throw my hazards on. Hazards, aka the make a parking spot wherever you want it button. Got the Starbucks. There's the truck. Well, we're running a bit low on battery. I may have driven a bit too quickly, so I think we're going to make a quick detour here to this Walmart, just see if it works. Actually wasn't able to charge here last time I came to Atlanta for my Rivian first mile drive, actually. It shows that 2 are down on plug share, but we'll see here. Figure we'll probably just add like, I don't know, charge to like 40%, something like that, so don't need a whole lot. But that way we're at least not rolling into Rivian completely dead, because that just seems not great. Not off to a great start here at Electrify America. We've got carts blocking where I actually need to be parked to charge, because the cords won't reach the passenger front there. We've got a Niro or Kona, Kia Niro, yep, charging there. While I go move those carts, I'm going to scope out which station I need to actually move to also. So charger number 1 here is just rebooting, or just broken, essentially bricked. Let's see here, charger number 2. This one looks mostly functional, I think. That seems promising. Looks like they're getting full power. These max out at 200 amps, so that seems pretty reasonable. Let's see this one here. It's saying close with no actual message of status on it. Okay, wow, that's in rough shape. So I'm gonna move over to that spot, I think. Well, we're initiating charging here. When I started the charge, it showed up to 50 kilowatts on the app, so that's not very promising. But this cable also looks pretty darn new, so maybe that's just wrong. Hopefully it's not actually limited to 50 kilowatts. We'll see here. Well, so far we're getting over 50 kilowatts. That seems pretty promising. We'll see how it keeps up. Let's see what we end up getting. In theory, we might get full power because it is a 350 kilowatt labeled station. But at this point, even 150 is pretty acceptable in my book. And I guess we're going to be getting about 150, which that's fine. So we'll charge up to like 40, 45%, something like that. And then we'll rip it to Rivian. Sometimes it's really the little things when you're charging, like a trash can. There's no trash cans even at the cart corrals, or at least none that are close to the charging station. So I'm having to go all the way to the store. And I guess I'll use the restroom while I'm in there, and then hopefully the Rivian will be done by the time we're going there. Also seems like I'm only getting billed 16 cents a minute, which is based on the 50 kilowatt max limit on the station. So super weird. Well, I guess it's time to go. Charge session just failed. I was gonna rearrange my stuff a little bit, but let's get unplugged here. I think we're up to like 45%, something like that. So we have adequate charge, but still not great. Let's see what we're at. 44%, so not great. Wow, lots of leaves up there. Gotta get those out at some point. But just wanted to bring this up to the front, grab a couple things that I want to keep with me while I have the loaner. And now leaving this parking lot, we have to go all the way up there because this is a one-way lane. Not fun, but let's get on the road and see how far we have to go. I think it's like 70 miles still. Walmart parking lots are not very fun on a Saturday. To say that a Rivian turned some heads in rural Georgia is a bit of an understatement. Everyone is staring at this thing. Here's our stats so far on the trip. So 1.92 miles per kilowatt hour. Pretty minimal wind, but I was driving fairly quickly, even though the average speed doesn't really reflect that since we were driving in the city for the first bit. But let's get going. 131 miles estimated range and 69 miles to go, and you can see we're still in conserve mode there. It's possible the underbody panel missing is impacting our efficiency. Well, just arrived to Rivian here, got plugged in. We're getting 4 kilowatts, probably still ramping up. They've got their Clipper Creek units here. So there we go there. And here's our trip efficiency. So 249.3 miles, 1.92 miles per kilowatt hour. So I'll reset that actually. And here's our lifetime efficiency. Got my stuff ready to go for putting into the loaner truck. Not sure what I'm getting. They've got quite a few out here. Basically a matching truck next to this, but that has the Black Mountain. But I'm gonna go get trucked in and see how this goes. Getting set up in the loaner here. So we've got a 1700 VIN with about 6,600 miles on it. I just reset the trips here so that I can keep track of the miles that I put on it total, as well as this drive home. It's got the Black Mountain interior, Rivian blue, and it also has the 20-inch all-terrains. There's mine there. Got my stuff here, just got it cleaned up a little bit, getting comfortable. And we're gonna hit the road to Charlotte. So we've got about 4 hours to go. So let's get on the road here and get to it. Looks like we can go the same way back that we went already. Let's filter to 100 plus kilowatt. We'll probably end up stopping somewhere to charge. I was tempted to go this way back, but it's just going to add so much time that I just don't think it's worth it. So let's just go same way. Well, here is the loaner, as I mentioned. It's a bit dirty, both interior and exterior, unfortunately. So a little surprised by that. I mean, I don't really care. I'll probably just run it through a car wash anyway. I have a car wash membership. But yeah, just a little surprising. Has manufacturer plates on it. Yeah, cord and stuff. A little messy, but whatever. I'm not going to use that anyway. Has a 12 volt there. And it's basically a twin truck to mine. Except it has the Black Mountain interior, which actually does look quite nice. It's got a flashlight, but it doesn't have a speaker. They must have taken that out for demo or something. But I was kind of hoping to try out a different spec, either with the 21-inch or the 22-inch road tires, and just experience that and have a little bit easier drive to from here with more efficient tires. But it is what it is. It's a twin truck, basically. Well, this is quite the rental place here with the Lamborghini Urus outside. Guess it's MVP rental, something like that. Right down the street from Rivian. But we're gonna get going here. There is a Hummer EV right there. First time seeing one of those, just like out in the wild, driving on the road. Kind of cool.
It's easy to remember where I started. The doors that opened up, a place I long to find. My fear and money disregarded for another time. No, I didn't know it hit me out of nowhere. No, I didn't know it, but I had to go there. Take me back to the place I'm missing. Oh, I wanna catch a fever in the underground.
Well, I just spent 36 minutes on the phone with Electrify America support. This unit appears to work, maybe, because it tells you to plug in, but then you activate it and actually plug in, and it does not recognize that it's plugged in at all. So some sort of communication issue with vehicles. I did also restart the Rivian just to make sure the Rivian wasn't doing something weird, since it's a loaner, who knows. This number 2 one is completely down. They restarted this one, restarted that one, restarted that one. That one's just straight up on a Windows screen now, not even like functioning at all. Just running Windows casually, no big deal. And then we have the only unit that's functioning here is the old ABB unit. And we have a Leaf charging at a whopping 7 kilowatts. There's also now a Nero here that is waiting to charge. So we've now got a queue because the hardware is broken. It's actually truly astonishing to me that these could be so broken and be so new. It doesn't make any sense. Electrify America Sport seemed to indicate that it possibly wasn't commissioned properly, which is just wild. It's been almost a month since these units were installed. I don't know how they couldn't have realized that before. I'm genuinely dumbfounded at how this site is so bad with brand new hardware. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, just finished charging added 47.6 kilowatt hour in 18 minutes. So that's actually not bad, but it took me an hour before I was able to get plugged in because of the line. Had to wait for an ID4 to finish when I first arrived. And I was trying to figure out if any of the other sites or any of the other stations worked, which they didn't. Then the Leaf was charging, had to wait for them to finish. That was like 40 minutes probably. And then I was finally able to charge, went in, used the restroom in Sam's Club, and now we're about to hit the road. We still have exactly 100 miles home. So let me show you the route here. Right as I was coming back out of Sam's Club, there was a Taycan that had pulled up also, and the guy said he's selling it for a 911, and a primary reason is because charging is so challenging right now, and it's kind of hard to blame him. If I owned a $100,000 Porsche, or probably $150,000, $200,000 depending on the trim, I'd want reliable charging too. And I mean, realistically, the Rivian is not that far off from being a near $100,000 truck, and the charging kind of sucks. So it's very frustrating to see great EVs let down by terrible charging. Well, here's the route that we have to go on the way back. So we've got just under 2 hours. We'll probably beat that time. Here's efficiency so far. So 1.73 miles per kilowatt hour. I was driving pretty quick since I knew I was going to charge anyway, so I wasn't trying to be too conservative, but that ended up kind of biting me in the ass there, because if I had driven more conservatively, I would have just been able to go all the way home without charging at all. So noted for future, we'll probably just do that on the way back with my truck when I have to go pick it up at Rivian Service. Crazy. I never cease to be amazed at how bad the traffic is always at this Electrify America. Like, this is such a terrible location for a charger, terrible access, even though it's right off the interstate.
No amount of nothing that can replace. I remember dreaming, rolling up just to get away. I'm screaming now or never.
Well, made it pretty much home, getting a car wash here in the loaner, just because it was pretty dirty, and I like clean cars, and I also want to be able to give the loaner back cleaner than I got it. I'll probably actually vacuum it tomorrow just for my own sanity, I guess. I like clean cars. And that way, next person that gets it has it a bit cleaner. Obviously, exterior won't stay that clean, but interior at least will stay clean even as I have it. But man, today has just been a whirlwind of experiences as far as the charging goes. Turning on the fan there so you don't hear it. It's just crazy that somehow Electrify America can't seem to get it together on reliable charging. I just genuinely do not understand why it's so difficult for it to just work. They just need to like completely restructure their entire operation, it seems, because whatever they're doing today is not working. The water is just like sheeting on the car because it's not coated like mine is. A little weird to see. You can see it there, it's just like wet. Even the roof here, it's not just blowing right off like it would on mine. Totally different experience to have a coated car. You can see it just wet. And this is why washing your vehicle regularly is so important, because otherwise you end up with this is what's left over after a car wash. But looks pretty clean now. Certainly not as clean and shiny and nice as mine, but it's something. Not a bad lineup today. 2 Uruses and a Maserati. Ugh. That's a nice matte wrapped one. Or maybe it's just matte. And look at that, there's a Taycan charging. Got a Fiat 500E. Ooh, Taycan Turbo, actually, nice. Fiat 500E and a Model 3. And look at that, there's only a Model Y charging here tonight, so I can actually get plugged in. We're at 23%. Let's see our efficiency. 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour over 248.3 miles. Not too bad. We made it home, of course. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what your experiences have been like recently on Electrify America, on EVgo, any others. Really curious to hear if these experiences are more limited, like that I'm only experiencing them, that Kyle's only experiencing them, that other EV people have only been experiencing them. Are these troubles that normal people are seeing? Because I think they are, but never know. So comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.